Imagine it's New Year's Day. Your friend says, "Happy New Year," and you say it back. But then your grandfather looks at the calendar and says, "Our new year actually begins on a completely different day." It sounds impossible, but look at a modern Indian newspaper. Right there at the top, you'll find two different dates, often from two different years, for the exact same day. Most of the world uses the Gregorian calendar. It's the global standard that helps us plan international flights, schedule business meetings, and count down the seconds until January 1st. Curious, but India uses a second system too. It's called the Saka Calendar. Why would one country need to track time in two separate ways? That extra date on the newspaper is a sign of a second official timekeeping system that most people never think about. Long before modern clocks, scholars in India were busy mapping the sky. They didn't just look at the moon. They tracked its changing shape night after night and recorded exactly where the sun rose on the horizon to mark the arrival of spring and winter. Over many centuries, this tradition of skywatching led to the building of massive stone instruments like these. They were designed to measure the movements of the stars with incredible accuracy, helping people decide exactly when to plant crops or hold traditional festivals. Because India is so vast, different regions eventually created their own separate calendars. With so many different systems being used at the same time, it became very difficult to coordinate dates across the whole country. To bring everything together, the Indian government officially chose one unified system in 1957. They took those centuries of observation and turned them into the national Saka calendar. Here is the first big difference. This system is built to match the environment. The months follow the actual path of the sun, lining up with natural events like the arrival of the monsoon rains. Instead of just being a list of dates, the Saka calendar is a tool designed specifically to follow India's unique weather and seasonal rhythms. Even in this busy modern world of highways and fast cars, that ancient system of tracking time is still working every single day. It is the official tracker of time for the national government. You'll find it on government documents, official calendars, and important national announcements. You can even hear it on the radio. Every day, public broadcasts announce the Saka date to millions of listeners across the country. But how did people use both without getting mixed up? Think of it like having two different schedules at school. One might show your regular classes, while the other shows your sports practices. You use both at the same time, but for different parts of your day. India uses the Gregorian calendar to stay connected with the rest of the world, while the Saka calendar preserves the nation's history and its scientific way of watching the seasons. Let's see what you can remember. Which calendar starts its year on January 1st, and which one begins with the month of Chaitra? Which one is used by countries all over the globe, and which one is India's own national calendar? Now that you know about these two systems, a new question appears. If they both measure time, are they actually the same length? And which one is better for keeping track of your own birthday? Let's find out in our next adventure.